Okay, folks, welcome back. We are here for episode 3 of this. I don't even know if you'd call them episodes really at this point, but we are finishing our fight with this behemoth. We went through several rounds there with them last time. Some very interesting things going on. Danny's character, Bastille, has invoked mirror image on himself, got a great surprise attack of backstab damage against the creature. Was awesome last game. Ron is working well on his control. We thought Ron was going to be flat as a pancake at the end of the last episode, and then all of a sudden it dawned on us that he had Sanctuary cast on him, and when we rolled to see if the behemoth would still target him and charge him in the way that it did, it failed the saving throw, and it turned its wrath on somebody else at that point. We are in the very end of our last turn, and the next person up is going to be Tamyra, which is our female paladin of Path of Devotion. Okay, so does anybody have anything to add before I go ahead and bring up the battle map? No? Okay. We're getting silence from the crowd. Okay. Let's go ahead and screen share. And here we are. Let's go ahead and use a little bit of YouTube magic. Okay, is that too loud for everybody, or is that okay?
Fine.
And you all can hear my voice over it okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Turn down just a touch. I like it. It doesn't have to be overpowering. I just like a little bit of music in the background. Okay. So here we are. The behemoth had charged from the north, came down, hit this pillar. It was going to knock it over top of you, but halfway there decided, wait a minute, what am I doing? And decided it wasn't going to do that. Now we are on to Tamyra's turn. Tamyra is standing right here, about 10 foot away from the creature. If she were to step up 5 foot, she would be able to hit it with her flail. You also have all kinds of defensive and offensive spells at your disposal. And for everyone watching, this is the newer character to Alex.
Yep.
We do not do this full time. We have jobs. So she hasn't got to study up on this character completely. And what happens is, if she's not sure how to handle a turn, we've been having Alex roll 1d20. The higher the roll, the better advice that we all give her collectively. So it's a neat mechanic.
Yeah.
I hate to put you on the spot to start off, Alex, but it is your turn. What is it that you would like to do? Oh, before you, I'm sorry, one last thing. Sanctuary is a spell that you have to keep concentration on. That's correct, right, Ron?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it seems to have served its purpose for now. And if you're wanting to, you can break concentration on that spell, and you can go ahead and cast things. It doesn't take any action to break concentration on a spell.
No concentration on Sanctuary.
Oh, there is none.
No, it's a duration of 1 minute.
Oh, that's perfect. Alex, that's awesome then. So that means that spell is feeding on its own will. So you are free reign to do what you want to this creature. Want you to keep in mind, you are a tough physical specimen.
Okay.
You have tough armor on, you have a pretty high damage reduction, and you have a shield that makes it hard for things to hurt you, but you're dealing with a creature that's 35 foot big and can swat you and knock you probably 15 foot back. So it's mixed emotions right now about it. I will let you choose what you want to do. You have spells, you have melee attacks, you have 30 foot of movement. You can move around. Whatever you would like to do, it is your turn. Do you have an idea, or do you need some advice?
I have an idea.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'd like to move the 5 feet forward, cast Divine Smite, and attempt to hit it.
Awesome. Okay. So Tamyra rushes forward up to within melee range of the creature. Looking up, the shoulder of this thing on this massive arm is like damn near 15 foot tall. So you're looking at the big undercarriage of this creature and its ribs and things like that along the side. As you're looking up at it, it seems bewildered for a moment because it was going to run Ron through. It's going to knock that big concrete pillar over on top of him. But it's still kind of looking at the pillar a little confused. It's lost its focus, and you see an opening. All of a sudden, you say some holy words, and Divine Smite adds certain damage to your weapon, and your weapon begins to glow with a radiant flame. Okay? At what level are you wanting to cast Divine Smite? You can cast it at a 3rd level at maximum. I think the base of it does 2d6 or 2d8. I'm not sure which one.
It says 2d8 for 1st level spell slot plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than 1st.
So if you cast this at a 3rd level
So
spot, you would do 4d8 extra onto your first swing with your flail. Yeah, so that would be 1, 3, that would be 7 magic points if you chose to do that, or you can do a lesser, whatever you want to do.
go ahead and spend the points.
Okay, so Tamyra calls out the big dogs. Let's go ahead, magic points -7. Okay, she is casting the highest level Divine Smite that she has possible to her. And with her shield dropped low for just a moment, she catches that thing on radiant flames and goes in to make 2 melee attacks. The first one that hits is going to be the one that does this damage. Now, you also have flail specialization. That means to one of these attacks, you can add a 1d4 to either hit or damage with this attack. Okay? It's a weapon specialization thing.
Okay.
So, and you can add that after the fact also.
Alright.
So I will go ahead and let you swing to attack melee on this creature.
Alrighty.
It's
So it's the
1d20.
Okay.
And I think with you, it's like plus maybe 11 or 12. It's pretty good.
oh wow. So I got a 15 plus with flail it's plus 12.
27. Okay,
27.
that hits the creature, but it doesn't breach the creature. So that means it didn't dodge or block you, but you didn't find a weak spot in it either. So you would have to do damage reduction. Do you want to use your 1d4 to see if you can get a little bit better hit, or do you want to hold off on it?
Do I also add the extra 48 for the Divine Smite?
That's only damage. This is your aiming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so first, this is just kind of aim. So you've hit it, but if you were to add a 1d4, there's the possibility that you would get a breaching hit. And what that does is that hits a sensitive area, and you do straight damage to the creature without having to deal with its thick hide and muscles and defenses. So if you add a 1d4,
Okay, yeah.
weapon specialization, you got a chance of really doing some damage.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to go ahead and do that.
Go ahead and roll that and add it to your total.
I got a 4.
That turns that
So
27 into a 31, which is outstanding. And with that, it is a breaching hit. So as she goes up with her flail and swings, she hits a sensitive area in between 2 large ribs. As she comes up with an uppercutting swing with the flail, go ahead and roll damage for that attack. It would be your regular damage, and then you would add your 4d8 on top of that. Ones are
Okay.
rerolls on this attack.
okay. So regular damage. Would the regular damage be 1d8?
Yes,
For
and
the
then there's
flail.
bonus there. It'll say 1d8 plus a solid number. What is that? It's a tally of all your other bonuses that you've had up to this point. It's like it'll be
Yep.
at the very end. It's an 8.
Yep, 1d8 plus 7.
1d8 plus 7. So go ahead and figure that up first.
So we got 12.
Okay, and then you add 4d8 more to that, and then tell me the total.
Okay. 7.
Okay, what's your total, Alex?
Okay. Let me see here. So 32.
Nice. Dude, 32 points of slashing and radiant damage to the rib cage on the side of this creature. With that, I would like you to roll me because you did divine on, I'm going to give you a bonus. Roll me a 1d6, please. Let me know what that is.
Okay. 3.
Okay. I'm doing some damage to the actual outside exterior of the creature as well. So as she goes up with her first attack, wham, hits into those ribs. You actually see a burst of radiant energy explode underneath of the skin of this thing, where it looks like a light bulb flashed through a lampshade for just a moment on the inside of this thing. As it howls, it raises that one big arm up off the ground and tucks its elbow into its ribs in pain from where it's just been hit. With that, the creature is going to use its reaction to do something to you because you just hit it. Okay, let me make sure I've got this. Okay, this is called Vengeance. It can do this as a reaction once per turn. And it is going to try to bat you away with that big left arm of its. It's going to interrupt your turn to try to do that. You still have another attack left if he misses. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he rolled 22. What is your armor class primary? That's the one that looks like it's in the shield.
23.
Okay, he misses you. Okay, so as he takes his big arm and he wails it over to the side, trying to knock you away because you've done serious damage to him, you're able to actually hold your shield up just in time like this, and the claws actually scraped, and you heard metal, and you see sparks flying as the claws clack against your shield and swipe off from you. You have another attack left. Go ahead.
Okay. Goodness. What to do?
You roll 1d. And now attacks. If you're taking the attack action, that means you're just merely attacking on your turn. If you were to do a spell, a spell would take all of that major action. So with this one, you've already done your bonus spell for your Divine Smite. Now you're in the middle of attacking.
Gotcha.
So you pretty much either have to swing or you could do something different, but you can't cast another spell right now.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
I would like to go ahead and swing again.
Okay, roll a d20 and add 12 to it.
25.
Okay, that hits, but it does not breach it. So with this one, You came down, and because you had to pull your shield up and defend against its sideswipe like a horse trying to kick a fly off of it, it's messed up your aim a little bit. You make contact with the creature, but not in a sensitive area. Go ahead and roll your damage. This would be regular, 1d8 plus 7.
Five plus 7, so that's 12.
12 points of slashing damage with your flail. Just 1 minute here. And the resistances are okay. So you feel that it hits this thing, and it's hard, but you feel that not all of your attack got through, that you hit some of the bulk of this creature and absorbed quite a bit of that last attack. Okay? Roll me a 1d4.
One.
Okay. That's how many non-lethal damage points you did to its defenses and things of that nature. Okay. So now you still have 25 foot of movement, and I will tell you this. Okay? If you turn to run away from this creature, normally if they use they can use the reaction to get an attack of opportunity on you. Okay? But this creature has already used its reaction to swipe at you when you hit him that last time out of anger. Okay?
Right.
So you could retreat. There are different places you could go. You can set yourself up wherever you want to be, or you could just stand toe-to-toe with this sucker and draw him to you, and then other people can go on their side and flank him. And if people are flanking a creature, they get advantage. Last thing to note, Ignatious told us before the battle that if a bunch of people get up close to this thing, it can do a tail sweep and hit a lot of people at once. So whatever you choose to do, this is a hard fight. So there's ups and downs for all this shit. So whatever you choose to do, be in the moment. You're Tamyra, you're this heroine paladin chick that's very protective over people. You're here to kick some ass. What are you doing, Alex?
I think I'd like to yeah, I think I'd like to stay where I'm at.
Okay, so you're going to hold your ground. You're going to have all your movement. Now that's good, because if you have to dodge anything like a spell area thing or something like that where you have to move out of the way, it won't deduct it from your next turn. You have that movement stored up right now. Where, let's say, if it were to cast some spell on you and you were to roll to see if you dodge it, we have 25 foot of movement. You can just move the hell out of the way of that thing if you pass your check, and it doesn't take it away from you on the next turn. That's a really good thing. Okay?
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, Tamyra went up there and lit this sucker's ribs up on fire. It tried to swing back at her, but she was able to deflect it away. The next person up is your DM playing Valdara. Okay, so Valdara got a great hit as this thing ran by her, and it sees over its shoulder that Tamyra is doing battle. She can see flashes of golden energy and radiant flames whipping and whirling out from underneath this creature like flames underneath of a door when a house is on fire. Seeing that makes her want to tie into this thing even worse. She is going to do a charging assault on her turn, which will put her charging at her full distance and have her doing one mighty and hefty attack at the end of it, which will have advantage because she will be flanking it with Tamyra. Okay? So, as Valdara runs in, she still has the lightning on her blade until the end of this turn. The crackle comes across her eyes. Okay? She firms up and she lets out this cry that's shaking, this war cry as she's running, almost like a linebacker getting ready to eat a quarterback for breakfast, okay? And she comes running straight down this lane, right into the creature. Just for theatrics, I'm going to put her below the Behemoth. like that. That would look a little cooler. She's going to run right into here and try to do this attack. Now that was 5, 10, 15. I'm going to say that's roughly 20 foot. So every 10 foot of this charge adds an extra +1 to hit and 1d6 to the damage. It's momentum building. So she has a +2 to hit, plus 2d6 to her damage here. Okay, let's see how she does. I have a weapon specialization with the greatsword, so I can add a 1d4 if I need to. Let's see what we get, everybody. Okay, so that dice literally hit there and jumped up on another pile of dice, so it's piggybacking. Let's try it again. That's better. Okay, 14. Okay, 27. I'm in the exact same spot that Alex was. So I'm going to add a 1d4 to this to see if I can breach it, but I have hit it already. Okay. No, shit. I rolled a 1. So I got 28. So 28 hits solidly, but unfortunately I wasn't able to find a weak spot. So I'm going right up against the muscular side of this creature and some of the more thick, dense fur on it, because it had that spell up for a while, but then it faded when it became confused and failed its wisdom saving throw earlier. So let's go ahead and roll damage. Okay, 1, 2 for the sword, 1 for lightning there, and then, okay, 11, 14 there. Okay, and then we roll 1d more for that because of that. That's 19. Okay, plus I'm charging, and I got 2 more. Oh, I did breach it. I forgot to add the +2 from going 20 foot. That puts me right over the edge. I did breach it. Aha! Bastards. Nice. And now that I said that, I forgot my numbers. No, I still got them here. Okay. 13, 18, 26, 34. That's hilarious. Did you do 34 points of damage a minute ago, Alex? I think you did 32. Okay.
Yep, 32.
I bested you by 2 because these two are very competitive. So is she?
How much?
What's that,
How
Danny?
how long does the electric charge? Is that only 1 attack after that, or does it last more?
It lasts for 1 full turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. So 34. Okay, as she goes up on the other side, I'm going to roll something for the behemoth because we've lit into its ribs on both sides with very heavy attacks that found weak spots in it. I'm going to roll to see how it's handling this. I rolled a natural 1. Okay, because of that, and I can do things like this in the fight. Okay, the behemoth is going to use another legendary action to overcome the sensation to be stunned and dazed for the rest of its turn. I'll write that down. You saw the things, after you quake the ribs on the one side, Tamyra, it raised its arm up and tried to stop, and then this Valdara comes on the other side and chimes in on the exact same ribs, just like the 2 sisters that you 2 are, mirroring each other, the light and the not so light. This thing's insides were getting rumbled. It was about to fall down, and you saw you felt a concussive blast on the other side of it. It started to crumple and fall, and then all of a sudden its eyes just kind of flare up. It breathes deep through its nose and lets out a massive roar with its head and horns stuck up to the sky. Fights being stunned with a legendary resistance and still in the fight. Okay, Valdara is going to stay there, flanking the creature, and that is going to be the end of her turn. Up now is Danny, and then Iggy, you are on deck, sir. Okay, just giving you a heads up.
All right. Let me see where I'm at compared to him.
Oh, that's not you. You're not a Warhammer. Okay, so you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 foot to get up on top of the rubble, 30, 35, 40 foot to be able to hit him.
Wow. Excellent.
That sounded like sarcasm.
All right. So I'm going to use my first bonus action to invoke my bracer.
Okay, what's the bracer do, buddy?
That bracer casts, depending on how many charges I use, it has 3 charges a day, and it casts Spiritual Guardian.
Nice.
So what you would see is he would slide his cloak up, touch that bracer. It's a bracelet of vines that kind of wrap, and he can't remove it.
You got that from the Isle of Terra, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that now. Okay, cool. The druids there give it to him. All right.
Actually, yeah.
Talk us through it.
So,
Tell us what it looks like. Tell us the range of it to make sure it's good, and then go ahead, buddy.
So I'm going to use all 3 charges because he gets 3 charges per long rest. And with 3 charges, he casts it at a level of, not sure what the level is, but it's basically a 5d8 for the Spiritual Guardians. What it does is 15-foot radius, 10-minute duration, spirits in the shape of her choice, which we know that his are angelic versions of Drayden because Drayden is his best friend in game.
So Drayden looks like a Felidae, which is like a cat person or a cat race, kind of like Thundercats, kind of like the shit you've seen. A little bit more human than feline, but Drayden is a Felidae monk that is a lion race. So these look like some kind of celestial transparent versions of him as a fighting monk lion person. Pretty crazy shit, I know. And you're summoning how many of those into existence?
Well, it doesn't actually say how many, but what happens is within a 15-foot radius, designated creatures aren't affected. You save versus wisdom for half damage, and it has a set DC of 18 at that level. And it's 5d8 radiant damage, but speed is half for those affected. And damage is half if they make the save.
Okay,
So
now I thought this, now help me out because Ron probably knows quite a bit about this spell because it's a cleric spell. So, and initially, so I thought Spiritual Guardians was something you cast around yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so it's floating around you.
15-foot radius around me.
Okay,
Sticks
so
with me.
now, and Scott, if you're watching, you are going to be proud of your buddy Danny because now he has 3 images of himself, and now he's going to have 3 more images of a fighting lion monk around him. So he's almost to your caliber, but not quite yet. Let me go ahead and add that to the mess here. Give me just a minute.
I think we can just do like a 15-foot radius circle and show what's in it.
I will. That's cool. I can do all that. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Cancel. Want to do open. Okay. This should only take a couple seconds. Move this around. Let's go ahead and go to character icons all. Tokens, heroes, and enemies. Yes. So I want to add 1 to Drayden. I'm going to multiply him and put him on that circle as well. Okay?
Awesome.
We're going to make this look really cool. It should only take a second. Shouldn't be any big deal. Okay? Let's shrink you down a little bit, my friend. Okay, I will resize. Let's go about right there, I would say. We'll hit OK. Edit. Copy. No, shit. Let's go back. Edit. Copy. Okay. Edit. Paste. All right. So now we have him over here. Okay. Let's bring him in here. And this shouldn't take but just a moment here, Danny. Okay. Make him the right size. Oh, come on now. Yeah, like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and put his opacity about right there. Okay, let's go. Let's call this, let me see, is that him? Yep, let's call this Drayden 1. One. Or no, just draining. Okay. Layer. Copy layer. Layer. Copy layer. Okay. Now we've got 3 of them. And they are how many feet around you do they go, Danny?
15 feet.
15 feet. Up to 15 foot around you. Oh, I get it. Okay, I didn't finish. There. Okay. Now it's making sense. Let's do this. Move you over here. Let's go up here a few. Let's go to rating 2. There we go. Okay. Now I've got those. Let me go ahead and do the last little finishing touch to this, and we'll be on our way. Okay, buddy? Spell effects. What are we thinking here, Danny? What do you think would look good? You want to do something golden, something blue, something fiery? What are you thinking, buddy?
Definitely gold.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the same. Now, he's already got a gold color on his, but I could turn any of these into gold. Let's go with this and I'll turn it golden. That's a different symbol than what Scott has on. Okay, so let's go ahead and go like this. Bam. Let's reverse this like that. Edit. Copy. Edit. And paste. Now we've got a big symbol here. Oh yeah, you're nice, buddy. Okay. Danny's casting magic, everybody. 3 sides that bad boy. I don't think you're that tough. Okay. He said 15 foot from you, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's your 30 by 30 circle right there, sir. Okay. Let's change the color of it. Use saturations. Oh, I like that. What do you think, buddy?
That's looking nice.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we have it in there, let's go ahead and move it. And I will fade it out a little bit and I will put it under everybody else so they are visible the way I want them to be. Okay. So we will call this Spirit Guardian. Okay. Bam. Let's move that down to the bottom of the list of things that you do. Okay, Danny, what do you think, buddy? I will change it to about right there. Okay. And it is all set. And now all I got to do is close this. Bam, it's all one thing, my friend. Look at this. Oh, no, it didn't bind. What'd I do here? Just a minute, we'll find it.
Looks like you need to move it down just a touch to be centered on me.
Yeah. Okay, so that should be in your folder. Okay, just a minute here, my friend. That's everything. So operation is including some invisible layers. Okay, just a minute. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, now we can do it, I think. I don't know why it's not wanting to move all of them together, Danny. Oh, because I didn't do that. There you go. Okay, we got it. So 2 minutes, roughly, and we were able to create it. And there we have everything you need, bud. All right. So we have that created for you. Where are you going, sir?
Well, the beautiful thing about him being flanked is, and this being a new round, is I get new backstab damage. So I'm going to run.
I'm going to take one of the bonus actions from you to invoke the thing. Okay, just so you know, I'm I'm not going to say it's a huge thing because it's not like you're going through the whole spell, but I will take one of those bonus actions from you.
Right. So what I'm going to do then is take you said 45 feet to get there?
Yes.
That would be the limit of his movement. So instead, I'm going to use Eldritch Gate because that's a free action. I'm going to throw that dagger up over him again.
Okay. Roll me, and you have a range of 60 foot with your dagger, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be
All right.
one attack, or it's a free action to do this, isn't it?
Free action for the gate.
One time per turn. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a
All right.
1d20 and tell me what you get.
The attack roll would be a 28 to get it over him.
Okay, you're able to do that. All right, so with that, you throw the dagger.
All right. So the thing is I've done this once before. So whether he's surprised it's coming or not changes things. I get backstab damage, but if he's not surprised, I don't get critical unless I roll 20s. So
I'm going to roll. What's your natural stealth without a d20 roll to it? Just a 10, like your passive.
my natural stealth, just dexterity and skills, is 14 because I have expertise in it.
Okay. No, he didn't see it coming. Not at all.
19 levels or 9 levels. Ooh, 19 levels would have been fantastic. 9 levels of rogue was really good for him.
Hell yeah, man. I get you, buddy. Okay, so no, he does not know what you're up to, and you have came over top of him with your Guardian's cast, and you are on to the top of him now. You have, what do you have left in your tank, Danny? Go ahead.
Once I'm going to use the tried and true Twin Vipers again, back for that same spot. I'll take some negative to hit with that, trying to hit the same spots I did before on such a big creature. But that's actually part of the feat is normally. So because you normally have to make called shots, but last time we didn't because he's so big to get between his shoulders. But I'm looking for those same spots again.
Yeah. I'm going to make a -4.
Okay.
To your attacks. You have a lot going on right now. Okay?
Yep.
So these to hit the same spots is -4.
All right. Hold on just a second because I'm not going to touch these dice. You just got to see them. See if I can.
Are you
Right.
serious?
Only one of them.
Did you roll 2 d20s?
Oh, I wish. All right.
Did you get a 20?
I got 120.
Okay.
All right. Do you see the one?
I do.
There?
Yes.
And the other one is a 16, but the other one's not impressive. It just with his bonuses will get good.
Okay. So tell me in total. We're going to give you a critical hit on the one. Okay. Go ahead and tell me what the other what they are total once you get all your bonuses to attack and everything. Remember, they're -4 to hit now.
Right. So would be a 30 to hit with the 16 and a 34 to hit with the 20.
Okay. You may not have hit those spots exactly, but it's pretty damn close, Danny, as you were able to teleport over top of it and come down, and all these combine into one strong attack, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both daggers. So basically he sacrifices his third attack in the motion, all that with this, everything he put together with his feats.
Roll me the acrobatics check to see how you land, if you're able to pull it off.
Oh yeah, 28.
Okay, that's good. Now, I'm going to give you the minimum damage because you didn't tell me how far you were falling down before you hit,
Absolutely.
which is 10 foot. So that's going to be an extra 1d6 added to it, correct?
Actually, if the minimum damage would be just like he was leaping up from the ground, so it would only be just nothing. The only time he gets that's when he takes it from an elevated position.
Okay, so when you do that from now on, make sure you're telling me how high up above the thing it'll benefit you. Okay, my friend?
Yep, that's my bad for not mentioning it. So the daggers are already critical, but the one is also critical. So does that just give me a reroll on the critical hit chart, or how do you want to play that?
Sure, that'll work fine for me.
Or I would be willing to take a mortal wound instead. I mean, mortal damage would be, or epic action points, any of those would be.
I bet you would just love to take a mortal wound. You know, I like the way you slid that in there, Danny. That was so clever. I think the first option will work just fine. Thank you, though. That's a good try.
All right. I'm just trying to help.
You're a shit, Ron. I would take a mortal wound. It's no big deal.
All right. For the daggers is
Oh, shit. Now it's time to do math, Danny. What you got?
Yeah. So for the first dagger, which was a 20, in addition to being a critical already, was a 5, and the second one was a 4.
Okay,
so
give me some numbers. No pressure.
Second one would be doubled.
Remember, you don't double your damage bonus. You just double the die rolls, remember?
Right.
Okay.
18. So 18 for the daggers. Then we have backstab. 3, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16.
I'll give you damage and a half on the backstab because one of those rolls was a 20. I think that is being very generous and fair.
All right, so 18, 30. Well, normally the backstab's critical from his assassin feat if they're surprised.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine then. We'll go ahead and just stick with that. Okay.
64. And
now remember, you had 2 girls that just hit this thing. Now you get only any more than 34 damage, you're going to be hurting her feelings. So you need to be nice, Danny. Be nice.
Well,
that poor Behemoth. What did he ever do to you? What did he do to you? Jesus.
70 points of damage for the strike. And also he needs to make a wisdom saving throw versus an 18 for me.
He passes with a natural 19.
All right, so he only takes half of this. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17, so he takes half of that, which would be 8. So 78 total.
Now, you're talking that's the Draydens you got flying around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. On the Spiritual Guardians move, doesn't anyone that's in that area at the start of their turn take damage?
Yes, unless I exclude them. So I get to choose who's in there.
Okay, because this is not the start of his turn.
Well, as soon as he goes into it, if they enter, or if they're in it and they start their turn.
Okay, Ron, how do you feel about that? Does that sound fair, or do you think it needs to be on the next turn?
Hold on one second here.
When you get up in the 70s, we're going to have debates.
No, with it, the way it's worded, it says, when you cast the spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it.
Correct, which is all of his allies.
So at that point, I mean, he had cast the spell already, so he would already be able to say who is affected and who wouldn't be. Whether you move in or out doesn't matter. It just says anybody he can see.
He's asking about whether
what's that?
He's asking about whether the Behemoth takes damage.
Oh, the Behemoth. Okay, gotcha.
Or if he has to wait till his next turn to take damage.
By the way, we rent out Ron on weekends and Tuesdays. He can actually help you make decisions as well. Call Ron today.
He's expensive, though.
He's a little pricey.
It's at the start of the creature's turn.
Bam.
Oh, so he doesn't take it as soon as he enters the circle?
It says, hold on one second here. Oh, no, it does say when it enters the creature, when creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay, so
Oh,
the last question, and then I'll let it go. I will let it go. Last question.
Yeah.
So when he casts the guardians, it stays with him no matter where he goes, correct? It stays within 15 foot around his person, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It says the range is self 15-foot radius. It
Okay.
does not say that they stay or move with him specifically.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you, Danny. Go ahead, and you did your innate more damage, so 78 total.
But the way it
Yep.
describes it is basically they're flitting around him. The ghosts are basically circling him in a 15-foot radius.
Okay, that works fine. Okay, so 78, and you were able to breach on that hit. The creature is going to use something now. Okay, upon it being hit right there, the creature is bloodied. Okay. As you hit this creature and you're like, man, I got you now, you son of a bitch. Like you hit into it, and all of a sudden those muscles in its back begin to contort and grow, and you hear bones cracking and realigning as if there's something unnatural going on within the creature. It doesn't feel like it's going to throw you like it did last time, but there's something that happens, and you feel a vibration come from this creature as you land upon it, Danny. Okay? The damage from those wounds seems to close up. Not exactly like Wolverine closing up and things like that, but whatever you did, the effect of it has been lessened in some way. And the creature seems to be driven to some point of rage from this. Okay. With that, at that exact moment that interrupts the turn that you have, okay, it lets out a sonic roar when it is bloodied. I need everybody to roll, make sure I'm doing this right, Constitution saving throws with a DC of, oh shit, 19 plus 25. 25 total. 19 plus 6.
Fuck, fucking double fuck.
That would be a triple fuck. No.
Yeah.
Fucking no, that'd be a quadruple. Good job. It's a quadruple fuck for everybody.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and roll this, but there's no way I can get there. So
Well, if you roll a d20, I'll give you an extra 1d10 on it, because I will
Alright.
call that something. And you can also use your inspiration too if you'd like to make sure you passed it, which adds another bonus to it as well.
The worst part
Okay.
about this is Bast has that ring of silence, and I thought about invoking that, but I kept thinking that there was spellcasters, and I shouldn't do it.
Right. Because it
Damn.
fuck up your stuff too. So Ron,
Yeah.
what'd you get, buddy?
3.
Yeah, 3's not going to cut it. Alex, Constitution saving throw. You have a pretty good Constitution. Roll 1d20, add your Constitution bonus to it, and tell me what you get.
9.
9. Well, Matt Mercer and the Critical Role guys in the Mighty Nine would love that one. Okay, Danny, what did you get?
All right, I'm going to roll it now. There's no possible way for him to make it, which fits because in the history of Bast and 10 total
Saving
levels,
throws.
he has passed all of one Constitution roll.
Like I say, you can use a inspiration and get an extra 1d10 to it if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't help because I got a
Yes.
total of 5. Natural 3. Every single time I roll a Constitution roll with this character, I swear to God. I mean, I passed out in the middle of a fight, like fucking for smoke.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for Valdara and see how I have just quadruply fucked myself. This year old natural 4.
Yeah, I've got 0 modifiers to add to Constitution saves.
So, people watching, are going, why is that bastard giving this thing a DC of 25 on its thing? Let me explain to you how this works. In normal 5th edition D&D, when you're doing a spell, you get all your modifiers that usually include your proficiency bonus and your spell building modifier. Let's say 4 and 4 would make 8, okay? And then you add that number to a solid constant number of an 8. That makes up the DC of your spell. In over debating this with Danny and doing these new optional rules, we have decided to turn that 8, instead of a passive number 8, we make it a 1d20 roll. It can be anywhere from 1 to 20, because it didn't make sense to have moves like when you attack, you're rolling a 1d20 to add a variable to it. When you are doing a ranged spell, you're doing a 1d20. And the performance of an area spell or a mind-affecting spell can also have a variable in it as well. And to make the game more dangerous, more exciting, we gave everything a 1d20 across the board. So the 8 has been replaced with a 1d20. Okay? And he rolled a natural 19 plus 6 on his DC. So that is why these guys are quadruply fucked. So when that happens, okay, sonic damage in the form of what seems to be some kind of gravity deforming blast seems to come from the creature once it has been bloodied. Okay, Danny, you almost get this instant headache and your vision becomes blurred because you can see this radiates from the creature's massive horns on top of its head. That's the central part of this. And with your background and stuff, you realize this could be something of a demonic nature, because you know that Dareblins and things can control gravity to a degree with their horns. If this creature is truly from Dareblin origins and shit like that, that could mean even worse things for us in the future. Okay? So with that, everybody in the area is going to take an amount of sonic damage, and then we're going to roll another saving throw to see how far you are all thrown backwards. Okay?
So, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and fuck myself right in the mouth.
Please do, please do. And by the way, this episode is not for kids. It's not for kids.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Gosh,
no, we're triply fucking there. It's perfectly fine. Alex's mom's gonna watch this, and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, Brian's got a foul mouth." Okay. So what were you gonna do, Danny? How were you gonna rear yourself here?
Well, I was sitting there thinking how smart I was because I don't require concentration on the mirror images. However, if they're hit, they disappear.
I'll be damned. I would have never thought of that.
So,
yeah,
they're all hit because if Bast can't, I mean, they basically have the same save as Bast, so they're all hit by the sonic damage. Therefore, they're gone.
Well, the good news is you did get to hit him once with him. But we'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have you roll 1 for the spell.
It's just that, well, the mirror image is yeah, it's a constitution roll. I rolled another 3. How about that? 2 threes in a row.
Okay. Yeah. I went to throw you a life buoy and it hit you in the mouth. That's everyone drowned on the tail of Titanic, is because everyone just got hit with the life buoys and knocked them out.
Right.
Sorry,
Like, I'll let you, because I know you will absolutely fail a constitution save. I will give you 2 of them.
Right, I will. I'm just twisting the knife. I'm sorry, man. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 17 points of sonic damage to everybody. Now, sonic damage, you don't really get damage reduction versus that from your armor and things like that. It is a very penetrating type, so this goes straight to you and also hurts your armor in the process. So everybody's armor points would also suffer 6. So if you've got armor on, there'll be a little thing there called AP, and you can keep track of that at the bottom right-hand corner of your character sheet. There's a little graph there on the front page that lets you tally up some damages that you've taken. That's armor points. You took 6 there. Okay, and you already know what the normal damage was that you all taken. And you are all propelled backwards because you failed that initial throw. It's 10 foot plus something here that I've got to roll and tell you. Just 1 second. D10s are the biggest pain in the ass to find the pinch. They look too much like other shit. At least for people like me. Damn. Everyone is thrown back 20 foot from the creature.
All right.
Okay, now here's the thing. There's damage involved in that.
I have 2 questions before that.
Go ahead.
I've got one.
Okay, so
I'll
the
go
first
Dave first.
question is, you said that it kind of sealed up around my daggers, like it kind of congealed a little bit, right?
Well, you felt things happening, like the muscles were shifting and moving. There was some kind of rejuvenative process that when you triggered this feralness, something started happening to the inside of it.
So can I make a strength check to see if I'm able to hold on?
Well, the Constitution check is how this has kind of shocked you into not being able to stand your ground. That's why it throws you. Okay?
So did I let go of my daggers then? Would you say that I was blown loose of my daggers?
Well, that's what's cool. With you, it doesn't matter so much. Well, let's go ahead and just give you a 50-50 shot here. 1 through 10 it did, 11 through 20 it did not.
It blew me loose of my daggers. I got a 9.
Okay. So
I had, and I was building to this, so I still had 1 bonus action because I didn't use any of my movement. I used 1, so I can sacrifice half of my movement for my second bonus action.
correct.
I would like to use that to Eldritch Gate back to my daggers.
After you land from the fall, suffer damage from that, and we'll come back to you and do that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, because I still have 20 foot, I need to move you first, and you take impact from that before we get to this next step. Okay? Ron, your one question.
I pretty much think I've got my answer, but like I can't, I wouldn't be able to, because of failing the Constitution throw, I wouldn't be able to like lessen my land with my wings or anything like that, you know, kind of
Well,
take to the air.
correct. You wouldn't be able to, but the good news is you're behind that pillar.
Right.
Okay? So you're going to take the sonic damage. It's going to be a driving force back, but it's only going to be half as much for you. Because you have an obstacle, although this hits sonically everything in the area. Oh, God. You know what, dude? Damn it, Ron. Remember we said that pillar was in such bad condition when we rolled in the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think about this, because you know where I'm headed with this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is good. This is fun D&D when you get to sit here and think about this shit like this. This couldn't be, it's created randomly. Okay. So that wave of damage that I did is easy enough to topple that thing. And we said they were how tall, Danny? They were 15-foot tall pillars.
20 foot because the half pillar was only 10.
Okay. So what we have here is a dilemma. Okay. We'll get to this. This is just really interesting because if this thing hits you straight on, Ron, it knocks you back 20 foot.
Right.
We've already established that.
Mm-hmm.
This pillar is 20 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
I have to decide how much of that distance is dampened because it hit the pillar before you. And if you understand what I'm saying, this is a hell of a situation.
Well, here's the question. With it being sonic damage, does obviously the pillar deflects that off of me and takes the damage. So instead of the Constitution save, would I not have to make a dexterity save to get out of the way of the pillar coming down on me?
Well, actually, I would say that you get the save versus the sonic, because the sound gets there. The concussive wave, though, becomes a physics problem, right?
Right.
So now what we're looking at is,
That's what I was talking about, was the concussive.
so if that concussive wave, we got to decide, because that thing hit the pillar up high trying to break it off at the top, right?
Yeah. Well, it blasts out from this thing. And
Right,
it
but
looks
I
like
mean,
an atomic kind of plumes.
No, you meant earlier.
Oh,
the first time it made contact, though, it was, oh, remember, no, it turned away from the pillar.
That's
Oh,
what
you're
I'm saying. It didn't hit it, but when we rolled to see how sturdy it was, remember how frail
Right,
we said the pillar was before he hit it? We said, man, this is the most brittle pillar out of all four of them.
So it depends on whether it makes a clean break or whether it completely shatters the
We're
pillar.
going to do this. I just want everyone to know that, Ron, I am trying not to kill you, and it's going to be a hit. But this is a really neat debate. This is the kind of shit that you love, okay? We're going to let the dice decide this, because although I think I could do this, I'm not a physics professor. I know that it's bursting outwards, and outwards from the behemoth is hitting that pillar, knocking it away from him, and unfortunately, like a clock dial, you're right in line with that, okay? Yep. I am going to say that because you are beside the pillar, and it took the most of that blast, you're not going to be damaged or anything from that initial thing. I'm going to say that the pillar moved those audio waves away. I'm going to give you automatic half damage from the sonic of it, as if you passed a saving throw, because it is deflected in a way. So it was 18, right? So you're going to take 9 sonic damage from that. Okay? With this thing falling, I'm going to treat it like an area attack spell. Okay? So I'm going to let you roll a dexterity saving throw to see if you're able to move yourself out of the way of this thing. Okay? And then I've got news for what's going to happen when you go out from beside this pillar and jump into the wave. So you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody agree that this is okay at this point? I'm trying to be as liberal as I can. I'm not being the DM saying this is how shit is. I want to go through this with everybody, okay? So go ahead.
I think that makes sense.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for, buddy. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll you a DC here. That's doable. Just a minute. We're going to make this a 15 for you to get completely out of the way of things. It's going to take your movement on your next turn. So go ahead and roll me a DC of 15 and let me know what you score on this. Dexterity saving throw.
I got a natural 18 plus 3, so 21.
Okay, so you dodge out of the way of the pillar. Okay? And I'm going to give you the choice here, buddy. Do you want to go up or down? Which way do you want to go to get out of the way of this pillar landing on you, buddy?
I would say I'm going to go down.
Okay, I'm going to move you here. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I'm going to give you half of the distance being thrown because you jumped from this to the wave of energy. Okay? But you still took half damage from the wave. Go ahead, Danny.
If he jumped at the moment that moves, the wave would be beyond him, because he'd be jumping almost like it would break, and as he's moving through it, it would be like, think of it like a sword hitting that and it breaking and him moving.
And on this moment, I'm just going to say DM's decision. I'm going to give him half the distance from it. I can imagine it radiating for a moment, creating this blast of sonic energy that goes out. I'm going to say he gets caught in it because he jumps from behind the pillar because of intelligence.
Yeah, when you did it like that with your hands and it being like a constant scream, that makes more sense.
And that's the thing, guys. I could be a little bit wrong, but at this point, I'm going to pull my DM card and I'm just going to throw it.
I'm on board, because you would say with that dex saving throw is I'm jumping out of the way. So it would be kind of timing before the pillar is exploding on me.
Correct. So
I could catch the tail end of that.
This is really fun shit. This is fun. Okay, so that happened. Let's go ahead and move Ignatius 10 foot backwards. Okay. You failed the saving throw for the thing. You passed the dex. You are not prone, Ron. Everyone else that's thrown from this thing is going to take bludgeoning damage and is not prone from this blast. You, however, because you've got your dex and we're caught into there, we can say that you did that thing with your wings. All of a sudden, if you want to, and that would be a really neat opening up moment for you, if you want to do it, where you flap the wings to maintain yourself as you're caught in there, and they flow back, you feel stress in your shoulders, where this force wants to push them back in an unnatural angle, and you're able to put your hand down almost like the superhero pose, and it scoots you back a little bit, and now you are exposed for what you truly are, okay? And you are, at this point,
I like that.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I like it too. I don't like you guys got fucked up hurt, but it's part of D&D. 5, 10, 15, 20. Alex, you are prone, which means you're on your knees or lower, and it will take half of your movement to stand back up on your turn.
Okay.
And you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
Okay? Your armor points take 4. Okay, Danny. We rolled for your mirror image. It did not survive this.
Oh, that was the Dryadans. They survived.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The Dryadans are the ones that failed. Your mirror image is gone, or which one's gone?
The mirror images are gone, but you subtracted Dryadan. The spiritual
Okay, so
guardian.
the spiritual guardian is still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this right here is gone.
Right, because they're like ethereal, so they don't really take damage.
Yeah, and they're also they're from an item rather than him.
Okay,
Well, yeah,
all right.
so no concentration. I'm just saying it's like you said the mirror images disappear when they take damage or whatever.
Right.
But these
Right.
wouldn't take damage because they're, ethereal.
Right. As soon as they take well, the thing is they're there to stop a hit from hurting him. So anytime somebody goes to hit him, there's a roll that he does that will target one of these instead. And as soon as they're touched once, they're gone. So with this hitting an area, it wiped them all out in one fell swoop. Okay, that is going to knock you. Danny, I'm going to say it's going to knock you straight back 20 foot. Let's go ahead and go to here. Okay. Oh, wrong one. No, I'm on the right one. Why is it doing that shit? It won't let me move you. That's a pain in the ass. Huh. It's not letting me move you because I have these other ones invisible. So let's just do it this way then. If they want to be tricky with me, by God, I'll just make them invisible this way. There are ways to do these things, people. Now. 10.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
20. Yeah, the pillar. When this thing knocks you off with force, Danny, it's knocking you into that pillar, sir. Okay, and the pillar's 20 foot tall. So
I'll use my reaction and uncanny dodge to take half damage.
Okay, good call. Good call. Okay, so what we've got is you've got 20 foot, which is going to be 1d6 for each amount of foot. I'm going to throw in an extra d6 because it's knocking you into a structure. Okay, that's going to be
Probably
6.
Probably about 15 foot in the air as well because I was on top of him, being fair.
It's going to be 14 points of bludgeoning damage. You use your reaction, which is reduced to 7.
Did you catch that about another D6? Because I was also about 15 foot in the air on his back.
I could. I'm gonna let that go. I'm not going to be that precise about that. And with that, you've used your reaction, and you're able to kind of roll off the side, and you fall down to the ground beside the pole, prone. And I'm going to say you're on the upper side. Okay.
Yeah. So instead of using, because that was interrupted in the middle of his turn, instead of using his movement to get back up, he's going to sacrifice half of his movement with the feat he has, Cunning Combatant, for 2 bonus actions and another 5 MP, and I'll teleport back to my daggers. Misty step back to my daggers, sorry.
Okay. Valdara was knocked back, and she has the skill that she's using now, which is Blade of Wrath, makes her have the strength and size, or not the size, but the actual strength and physical capability of a large-sized creature. She's only moved half the distance, but she is prone as well. And she takes 8 points of bludgeoning. And then she takes 5 to her armor points. Okay, so now we're going to finish up Danny, and we will move on. And that is what happens when you bloody a behemoth. So you are going to do what to get back to your dagger, sir?
Misty step with his bonus action.
I mean, that's half your movement. That's half your movement gone, right?
Right.
Okay.
So that'll leave me hanging on to those daggers that are stuck in his back, and that's it. So I'm riding him right now.
Okay, you are back on there. I'm going to leave you kind of faded, Danny, but we know you're there. Okay, that way we can kind of see the rest of everything that's going on around you. Is that all right?
Works for me.
I think it's cool. Okay, so Valdara goes to go back, and this blast hits her. You see that black hair flap from around her face, and she takes her sword, and she's holding it along the stone. She leaves a big carved mark along the stones, trying to hold her position as she finally looks back up from the thing, and the lightning and things dissipates from her blade and her eyes, and she does not have that ability anymore. Sanctuary is still on Ron. Tamyra was knocked backwards. What else are you doing on your turn, Danny? You've used all your actions to attack. You've been
used my
knocked back.
reaction. I've got half my movement left, but I'm going to keep that in case he goes to throw me.
Okay, just going to hang on. That sounds good, buddy. Okay, with that, it is now Ignatius's turn. Ignatius, it is going to take about half your movement to stand back up if you want to. You may just be casting from the ground, whatever you want to do, buddy. So that's you and all your glory. You're looking over there, and Tamyra just kind of is over there looking beside you like, damn, you know. What would you like to do, Ron? It's your turn.
I would like to use half of my movement to get back up.
Beautiful. Okay.
And I am going to cast Sacred Flame Cantrip on it.
Awesome. Is that a major action or a bonus action?
It comes as one action. So
okay. And what are you casting it on? And tell us what it does, please.
I am casting it on the I'm going to aim for what would look like an open area.
On the behemoth?
On the behemoth, yes.
Okay.
Sorry. And apparently I only wrote down half of that one on my spell card. Okay, with Sacred Flame. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. The target gains no benefit from cover for the saving throw, and the spell damage increases by 1d8 when you reach 5th level or 11th level, so it'd be a 2d8 damage.
Okay.
but he's got to make a dex saving throw.
Okay, give me a DC, buddy.
Sheet here. Dex. That is 15.
Okay, let me see how he does. I rolled a natural 17. So, when he does, I am going to move him. I'm going to say you shot the sacred flame out this way.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to move him 10 foot up, trying to get behind that pillar away from you towards Valdara, which is good because Valdara will get an attack of opportunity as her reaction because it is moving into her area.
All right. So
Okay.
now I have to roll damage.
Yes,
Because on a save, he takes half damage.
right, correct. And you're doing 2d8 plus your, I think it's your wisdom modifier, correct? Or is it just 2d8?
On this one, yes. Plus, because of my because of being a knowledge domain cleric, starting at the 8th level, I add my wisdom modifier to the damage I deal with any cantrip. Any cleric cantrip.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, go ahead and roll it for me.
So I said 2d8.
Yes, sir.
So I've got 9. Plus my,
It's 4 or 5, isn't it? You have a really high wisdom.
what's that? Yeah, my wisdom modifier is 5.
Okay, so 14.
Yep.
Okay. So that is awesome. All right, 14 points of damage. And what's the other effects of Sacred Flame? Does it make it where somebody has advantage on him on their next attack or something like that?
It does not. Hold on one second here. Let me double check here real quick. I think it's just the radiant damage
Okay,
because it is just a cantrip.
okay.
It will catch other things on fire, though.
Yes.
So as you've hit it, and you're able to just catch it on the back end as it goes to run behind that pillar to get out of your way, Bastille, you're holding on for dear life as it darts out of the way and goes that direction. Roll me a strength saving throw just for the hell of it to see how you held on.
Natural 18.
You're on there. You felt the buck. You're like, oh shit, right? And you see them flames rolling up around your legs that hit this thing. I'm going to go ahead and roll for Valdara to get her use her reaction to get an attack of opportunity against this creature.
All right.
Which is a natural 16 plus. You think I'd remember numbers, but there's so many. There's so many numbers. That is a hit and a breaching strike on top of that. So I don't add any modifiers on this. She doesn't have anything like combat prowess or shit. So this is just my regular 3d6. The other lightning is gone. And this attack inflicts, there we go, 22 points of slashing damage. Rolled really good on that. And when she hit it, it breached it. So let me go ahead and roll something else here. 4, 5, 6. Okay, wow. Okay, she gets another good chop on that side. As it comes rushing into her, she ducks down and takes her great blade to the side again, the exact same side that she got before when it was running past her, down to hit Ignatious before it lost its memory of what it was actually doing. On that side over there, there is an opening. On the Behemoth's right-hand side, as she hits that, she uses a free action. And she yells out, Bastille, I've breached the creature. And she yells out in a flurry like that. As you look down over your right shoulder, as you're up riding on top of this thing, Bastille, you can see that there's a large open wound on the side. It'll be a -4 to hit the creature in that area. But if you do, there is no damage reduction whatsoever. Okay, that is on the side that's kind of facing the other side of it that we can't see. Okay, guys?
Mhm. All right.
Okay, with that, Ron, please continue.
Yep. Next, as my bonus action, I would like to have my spiritual weapon move in. Okay, how far away is he from that right
Let
now?
you know in just a second, buddy. Oh, hell. 5, 10, 15, 20 foot.
Oh, that's all I got for movement. I'll take the 20-foot movement and
That's perfect, isn't it?
yeah.
What the hell did I do with your spiritual weapon?
And
There it is.
I'll
Here.
go in at that right side since he's right there.
Dude, yeah. So if a -4 to hit, you can go right at this thing, and you hit it regardless, you know. But that -4, if you take that and try to hit it, and you
Yeah.
get that, it's a breaching strike. There's nothing to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
Yep.
go ahead and move your hammer in. What would MC say? It's hammer time, everybody.
Yes.
All right. So had to do it. Couldn't help himself. Scott would be laughing right now. Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll for the hammer, please.
20.
Okay. So here's what I do with this.
Mm-hmm.
He has an armor class. I'm going to make something up. Let's say it's 15. That's his armor class primary. And then let's say he's 90% covered, which he is. So add 9 to 15, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When there's an open area, all you're having to hit is at 15. Plus the 4 because you're targeting a specific area.
Right.
Okay. So all you're hitting when you're rolling that hit just now is its armor class primary with a -4 to hit. Okay.
Right.
You're aiming for that area. You just got it, Ron. You just got it. Okay. You were able to hit in that open thing. The communication between Valdara and you seems to be syncing up, and you took it in stride. Roll damage for your weapon, sir.
Okay, so it's 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier.
Which is 5.
So that puts me to 11 points of damage.
Nice, buddy.
I rolled a 6.
Hell yeah. It took 11 points of damage, and as it does, you see the blood and stuff, Danny, underneath your right leg, looking over, sear back from the radiant energy of this mystic weapon, as it's almost like putting something wet onto a stovetop or putting like something into a fire too close. You hear bubbling and searing as you smell that burning hair coming up and wafting into the crowd. At that point, Iggy, what else would you like to do, buddy?
Well, all I believe I have left for me is half of my movement.
Which is like, what, 20 foot?
Yeah, so I'm going to take that 20 feet straight up.
Awesome. And I did something just for that. Let's see here. Ignatious. Break you down. Okay. Well, I feel really clever at the moment. I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay. I know you're like, what the hell, Brian?
No, I see the shadow. I like it.
Yeah. Let me see here. 20 foot straight up, huh?
Yep.
5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. Now let's go like this. Now let's move you all together and put that back where you were. Okay. You are where your shadow is on the ground, Ron.
Right.
That's pretty cool, huh? I'm
like
sorry.
that.
I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd, dude. All right. So with that, you're flying 20 foot up in the air. You've got the wings out. Let's have a moment with the crowd real quick because you've done that. You hear different oohs and ahs and things of that nature. Roll a perception check, Ron.
And plus 18.
Okay, you are definitely noticing different things, and it's really ironic because your eyes are very, very keen to things. Okay, as you are hearing those things, you hear something that sticks out to you. A familiar voice, if you will, that breaks out through the loudness of this crowd that's somewhat surprising to you because of your large eyes and shit. You see the little girl that you bought that thing from that had the wings on it and shit like that.
Yep.
And you see her holding that up in the air like this and cheering out. Like she lets out this cry of excitement as she sees you actually taking flight. And that actually touches you quite a bit. That's a really big instance for you. And you don't feel any worry by showing people what you truly are at this moment, okay?
All right.
I just wanted to throw it in there. It just came to me. I think that's pretty cool. I like it.
I like it. I was hoping for something dramatic to break out the wings.
I think that covers it, buddy. I think that covers it.
Yeah.
All right. So you are up in the air. Reminds me of that song from Great American Hero. It will be Asshole's turn now. The Behemoth is going to go. After his turn.
Awesome. Can he make a wisdom saving throw for me?
He can, Danny. He can. What was the DC from before, buddy? Do you remember?
18.
Right.
That sounds good to me. Let's see what he do, Danny. Let's see what he do. I rolled a natural 20.
You take half damage.
You suck it. But I'll take half damage. As Drayden gets
21.
angry and flies around and beats him. Yeah,
12 points.
12?
Yeah, that's halved.
That's half.
24. If it,
Okay, and let me see something really quick here. Sorry.
I was hoping for a failure to half his movement, but that's really not working.
No. And roll me a 1d4 plus 1.
3.
Can you knock 3 off of his AP? With that, as this flurry of this celestial lion monk flying around starts pummeling the shit out of this thing. You guys have not met Drayden yet, I don't think, but Scott has. Scott would be getting a kick out of this right now. From that moment is going to be the Behemoth's go. I'm going to go ahead and fade you back out a little bit more, Danny, here so we can get into this. Okay? We'll bring you back up when it comes time. Okay. Let's see here.
Question.
Go ahead, please.
Approximately how long have we been in battle now? It's been a couple of rounds. This is what? We're on round 3?
Yes.
So about 18 seconds.
Well,
that's what I wanted to make sure.
Roughly, yes. So
Yeah,
you're
'cause
worried about the
my
sanctuary.
hammer only has a duration. My hammer has a duration of 1 minute, so
Okay. Okay.
I want to make sure whether it's still there for my next turn or not. So I
It
got a few
good.
more. So
Yeah. Our rounds take a while, but there's a lot into them, and it
Yeah.
feels like quite a while. So we just have to, it's just one of those weird things about it. We feel like there's a lot been going on, but it's only been so long of a time.
right. I couldn't remember if it was like 6 seconds, 12 seconds per round, or I was just trying to figure out how many rounds I had left of my hammer.
Okay, sounds good. Real quick before we get into the rest of his turn, Oma or Leoma, I need you to roll a what would it be to hold that thing in the Constitution saving throw to see if you're able to keep your concentration on the spell in the crowd.
Ooh. Would concentration be wisdom?
Constitution.
Constitution. 8.
Okay, a lot of those spots seem to be forming from you, and you haven't had very good luck with this. Okay,
No.
and as those are forming, and it is putting stress on the other 9 of you trying to hold this, you see 2 what seem to be maids like people that would work for the city They are donning the black and gold cloaks, which are the colors of the city, and they are coming with staves. They are marching towards you, and you have a feeling that they are not happy with your performance. Okay? You are still under the effects of the potion. Okay? And and there are 2 Rougarou now that are starting to pace around the outer rim of the gladiator ring. Okay? With the Dragora hounds held by chains because the fight's starting to get tense. And as they come up and approach, the one steps up to speak to you and says, Landerless wishes for us to ask you to remove yourself from this position. And the other one stands up as if he is there to take your place. He is unsure of your competence and wants to ensure that his people in the crowd stay safe. And he holds his hand out as if he wants you to leave the confines of this small structure that you're in. And as you do, there's a Rougarou walking those dogs around just 15 foot away. It's not the main guy, but it's one of them. And they're asking you to leave this thing so they can hold the force field up in your stead. What are you doing?
I don't want to cause this scene, so I'm not going to fight him on it.
Okay.
I'll step down.
Okay. As you do walk out, the one going in just kind of gives you a really snarky kind of look. And it just gives you kind of like a prick, like, damn, kind of look as he goes in there. It would be somewhat disappointing if you would let something like that bother you. And the other one stands there. And then once you've walked out past, okay, and stop at a certain point, he turns and holds his staff and stands beside the structure while the other mage goes in and puts his hand on top of the pillar and begins to conduct his part of it. With a natural 13 plus his bonuses, he is able to restabilize the field, and you see some of those burning rings that are starting in it start to seal back up and close. Okay. Oh shit. As that happens, you look down and you hear this voice of a Rougarou. It's like, what is it? What is it? Come on. Stop fooling around. And you hear this kind of like that. And one of those Dragora, about 15 foot away, has started pulling the chain against it, like someone trying to walk a dog. It doesn't want to go the way it wants to walk. And it is growling at you kind of low and looking at you and trying to walk in your direction, Oma. It has smelled you. Okay? And he's pulling it like, leave her be. Come on, we've got bigger fish to fry. Come on! And he's pulling on the thing, trying to get it to go back through. I'm going to roll some opposing strength checks. Okay. The Rougarou, to your delight, is able to actually pull the Dragora hound back his way. And it keeps looking over its shoulder and ground and snapping every once in a while and looking over at you in your general direction. It has caught the scent of someone of your race. And you know that they have used those to hunt your people down from years ago. These dogs are somewhat trained to keen in on the smell of your race of person, which is a horrible thought. But it did notice you and it did smell you. And but the bugbear character did not notice what you were and was able to pull the dog back away. You now know that these things would recognize you by scent, so you must be careful. What are you doing at this point? There are different places you could go. You could leave the arena. You could go to your friends that are down the lower rims. When you look up around to leave, roll a perception check for me.
Alrighty. Eight. Wait.
Okay. Okay, it's 8 plus your wisdom, correct?
Oh.
Remember, you get your wisdom, which is your wisdom modifier and your proficiency bonus and your 1d20 roll. Those three things together will be your perception check.
Oh, okay. So 14 then.
Okay. It's kind of hard for you to see a way of getting out of here that won't be confrontational with someone of some way. But you do see some people down there below that could possibly be helpful to you. You see Drayden,
Mhm.
and you see Terran, the Draken doorman from the Drunken Mug, that was the big Draken Paladin character. And you know Drayden actually very well. He is the one that's represented in Danny's spell, and he is the Lion Day, and he's been on many adventures with you and respects you quite a bit.
Huh.
And he is down there, and they are someone that's getting ready to go into a fight here in just a little bit to see how they can do. And they're heavily favored to be probably one of the better ones here. You don't see any more rigmarole between you and them. That seems to be a clear path of protection for you. Other than that, you could try just kind of disappear up into the crowd and make your way in that direction. Whatever you want to do. Where would you like to go from here, Alex?
I'd like to move towards Drayden and the other guy.
Okay. So with that, we'll stop with you for a minute. When we come back around, I'll have that interaction, okay? Just wanted to have a little flavor in there, a little side part of the movie, a little side edit. And now we'll finish the Behemoth's turn. Okay? On that, the Behemoth is looking a little worse than bloody. He's taken some damage, but he's defending against these last ones. Nothing's breaching him as much as it was earlier, and he's toughening back up. On his turn, it has Valdara there. This pillar is crumbled. Okay? So, Ignatious, you're going to have half cover from the rubble of this thing. Or no, you're not. You're up flying. You're high. Okay, I keep forgetting. I see you there, but you're really down here. Danny, you're on the back of this creature, so this would be hard for you to manage. The creature is going to do a tailspin. Okay.
That was a great card.
Your strength check is going to be tough to hold on to the top of this sucker when it does one of these. When it does this, go ahead.
Tailspin was an awesome cartoon about a pilot bear, so I'm all in.
It was good, Danny. Thank you for bringing it up. That's a fantastic memory. Thank you. Sponsored by Tailspin by Disney. Thank you, everybody. All right.
I can still hear the theme song.
I can too. Baloo was the shit. Remember they had that pig that used to hunt truffles for him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy. We're old school now. That's right. Got some Tailspin knowledge.
I would say I was more of a Darkwing Duck guy myself.
I was too, man. I like.
He was badass.
Oh yeah, Darkwing Duck was the shit. You should make him a character. You should make a character named after Darkwing Duck. You should do a character like that. Real quick before I do this, I got to say it's super funny. Paladin, which is one of the cast members from Critical Role, they did this one shot where they just got to make up new characters. And he did a version of Batman based on an owlbear. And he did the whole Lego Batman voice. Super funny shit. It was, I mean, if you get a chance to watch it, I'll give you a link to it. But he's literally like talking like Batman the whole time. And it was beautiful. And he goes, I am the owlbear. It was really cool. But anyway, side note, I got distracted there. Mad respect to those guys. Okay, so the Behemoth is doing a tailspin. Let's get back in the moment here if I can. We're going to do dexterity for half damage. This affects everything within a 15-foot radius. Okay, so this is primarily for Valdara and for Danny to hang on. I'm going to do a DC for strength that you're going to have to beat to be able to hold on. Okay, Danny? Just a minute. Nat 20, everybody. Nat 20. plus that's a lot. Plus its strength, because it's a gargantuan creature. That's 31. Valdara cannot beat a 31. No way in hell. Danny, you are rolling a strength saving throw, trying to beat a 31 to hang on to the back of the creature or be thrown.
Cannot beat it.
No. So just roll it. I want to just see how close you come. Just for theatrics to give me an idea of the measure.
I got a 12.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. So this is bad. Okay, so as the creature spins, Ron, the wake of this thing, and it throws up rubble and shit, which would kind of pepper you from that pillar that's beside it. It actually bats it with its tail as it comes along this large 15-foot arc. It nails Valdara. I mean, it freaking full-on blasts her. Okay, let's roll for that. Danny, you are thrown, and we're going to see how far it throws.
Is he rotating?
He would be going clockwise. So as he hits
Clockwise?
the pillar, it would be flying to the,
Towards me, all right.
yeah, from this side, yeah, he rotates clockwise.
All right.
Okay?
Well, the good news is that pillar is destroyed, so you're above all of that.
Right, I'm just saying there's pieces of rock and things. I'm going to roll a chance for possibly some things to come up and possibly pepper you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to be anything dramatic, but it would happen. Let's do this. Danny, roll me a 1d20. Hold on, let me tell you what happens. 1 through 5, he takes 1d6 of piercing. 6 through 10, he takes 1d4. 11 through 20, he takes nothing.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. Pieces come up and scatter in that direction, Ron, but you are able to maneuver around. They do not get you.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Mhm.
So with her, man, this sucks here. This sucks. Oh, shit. Okay, let me do that then. Damn. 22. Ooh, shit. Okay. 32 points of damage to Valdara.
Ah,
Yeah. And it's going to knock her back. 20 foot. So with her thing, I have to roll versus stun on this. So she has to do a Constitution saving throw, which she gets bonuses on because of her class and kit. Let's see how she does here. She saves. Okay, this stuff does not make her see blackness. She's actually able to fight through it to some degree, but it knocks her viciously back 20 foot, and she is prone. 10, 15, 20. Way back here and is rolling and takes a hell of a hit. This thing is going to do major damage to her armor. As you hear her gasp for breath, Ron, you look down and you can see it's caved in part of the armor on her side from this massive tail sweep. And you can see her trying to move around to open it up a little bit so she can get a deep breath, as the impact of this was quite significant. She is a very strong person, not just of will, but of physical prowess to have been able to survive that blow and not have it knock her completely unconscious, okay? With that, Bastille, you are thrown 20 foot. Is spinning this direction. So we're going to roll 1d20. 1 through 5, you go direction to Valdara. 6 through 10, you're going up this way. 11 through 15, you're going down here. 16 through 20, you're going this direction.
11.
Okay, so 1 through 5, 6 and 10, 11, you're going down. Okay. So you will be thrown that direction. Let me move you here real quick, okay? I think it's going to put you about right there.
Side question: How's Valdara doing on that other stat she's got after that hit?
Not going to talk about that. All right. That's outside of game stuff, Danny. All right. So,
When you're done with that, Just thinking about it, I no longer have sanctuary because I did attack.
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and do that real quick then, Ignatius. Sanctuary. And now we found out that if I just click that eye and take it off there, it won't let me move you for some reason. But if I take it down to where it's gone, it'll still let me move you. That's weird, isn't it? I don't know why it would do that, but we've understand the program a little better now. Okay, Danny, you are prone on the ground, and you would take 14 points of bludgeoning damage, and your armor takes 7. If you guys have points break or something like that, please let me know. I need you to roll a
bloody.
You're bloodied. Danny is half down. Roll me a Constitution saving throw to see if this dazes you until the end of your next turn.
Total of 15.
Okay, I'll tell you in just a minute what you get. Hold on. There's a chance. No. Got too high on it. Got 17. You are stunned until the end of your next turn from the fall. What that does to you, and I want you to make a note of this, okay? That gives you disadvantage on saving abilities. Blah, blah, blah. It's been a long night. Ability checks, attack rolls, and it halves your movement until the end of your next turn. Okay?
All right. Disadvantage in half.
Yes. On attacks and things of that nature. Okay? Until the end of your next turn. Okay? With that, the creature is going to, let's roll 1d4. Alex, here's what we're going to do. 1 is going to be Valdara. 2 is going to be Ignatius. 3 is going to be Danny. And 4 is going to be Tamyra. Okay, roll me a 1d4.
Alrighty.
What'd you get?
1.
Okay, that's Valdara, right?
Yep.
It is going to run over top of Valdara now that she is prone. Now, what's crazy about this creature is when it runs over top of something, it automatically does a trample attack to it. It doesn't even have to roll an attack. It just has to go over top of you. That's one of the kind of tough things about this creature. It knocks you prone and it can stampede over your ass. You know, like a horse when it's running over top of you, isn't worried about kicking you. It's just going. And that's the way this creature is. It is going to use its movement to create distance from you all. And it is going to trample over top of her and end its turn here. And let me go ahead and turn this creature real quick. I love the things I can do on this. Not upside down. Not like that.
You want to like mirror it or?
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. He's doing a little break dance there. A little break dance action. He's doing a little butt spin. Okay, so now he's turned around, spun out his back feet, and huffed around with his back claws again, is lowering his horns, looking at the crowd. I am going to roll. It's oh, this is bad for Valdara because she's down. This would end her ability to make herself stronger and bigger. Well, no, she wasn't dazed, so that's still active. Okay. Ooh. 17 points of bludgeoning damage, and it will do 6 to her armor as it ran over top of her. She still passes her saving throws. It did not stun her. She is extraordinarily resilient. Lay her on the ground. You see her spit out blood, Ron, and she's looking up saying, "Is that the best you got?" As she's laying there on her elbow in the dirt, just trampled all to hell, hairs flopped down her face, but she still has her hand around her sword. And you are, for lack of a better term, very impressed with her vigor in this situation. At the end of that, that will be the Behemoth's turn. And at the top of the round coming back would be Tamyra and then Valdara. Do you guys want to take a 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Hang on here for just a minute. And telling everyone watching the video, we'll be back in just a few minutes and try to conclude this fight tonight. Hopefully no one dies.
Mhm.
Okay.